Okie dokie, so if you're watching this for the first time, then the San Diego Comic Con has been. It's when I waited a few days to kind of get my final thoughts on a couple of things. If you've watched this after the DC one that I just made, then hello again. I will leave a link to that video in an annotation and a wee description and down in the description bar. But this is all about Marvel, and this is really just about the one big Marvel news that they kind of sort of pointed out. So, without further ado, let's get started. But there is also going to be maybe a wee bit of the spoilers, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. So, it's 2012. You went to see the Avengers, and you've done the usual thing. You've waited, during the credits. And during mid-credits, we get a scene of this purple dude. Everyone's wondering, who is this? Unless you're a comic fan, and which I am, and you know who exactly what it was. It was Thanos, which I think that's pronounced it. Apparently there's two ways to pronounce it. That's the way I've always pronounced it, and I'm pronouncing it like that. So obviously we knew what was coming for Avengers 2, and obviously we were really put wrong. Sadly, that's not what's happening, even though Marvel has been hyping up this character ever since the bloody Avengers. For instance, after the whole reboot, they've done their big sort of new event that's coming out pretty soon is the Infinity that has Thanos in it. There's even a comic called Thanos Rising, for it. So obviously everyone thought Thanos was going to be the main big guy, and I heard that he was going to be in briefly in Thor 2 Dark World. He was going to be somewhat of a main villain for Guardians of the Galaxy, but apparently he's not for the Avengers 2. And who is it? It's Ultron. Yes, Ultron. And the title of it's called Age of Ultron. Now you know what. Now you're probably wondering and thinking, isn't that comic book event that has just finished off and you have just finished reviewing? And yes, and kind of no. Because apparently this is going to be completely different to that Ultron, which is surprising, but I don't know. I'm really mixed about this. Marvel are taking a big risk by doing this, not being very consistent, and that they're just doing whatever that they want. For instance, obviously you know how I feel about frickin' Iron Man frickin' 3. Right, how they, again, spoilers, how they messed up the Mandarin by not making him the wizard, the Mandarin that we knew from the comics, TV shows, and instead he was just a washed up, homeless, freaking drug addict actor, Ben Kingsley. Ugh. And that is why I'm kind of worried about this, because the one thing that they've said is Hank Pym is not going to be in it. And do you want to know why do you want to know what's so special about Hank Pym? Obviously, he's the guy that created the particles to make himself kind of grow bigger and smaller. Yeah, innuendo aside, and also make it talk to ants apparently, because every human wants to talk to ants. But he also created the most artificial intelligence AI ever made, and also one of the Avengers' most deadly villains, deadlier than Loki. Ultron kind of makes Loki like a cuddly toy. Yeah. And I don't know about this, because obviously now the Ant-Man film is happening after this, but I don't know how this is going to work, in my opinion. Obviously the reason why they didn't put Hank Pym in it is because he is smarter than Robert Downey Jr. Tony Stark, and to be honest that would outshine Tony Stark, and also Robert Jr. because he is the big star of the whole film franchise so far. But other than that, I'm not really entirely sure. They've not really laid much of the groundwork for it. It'd be interesting though. Now, I'm not going to say that, oh, I'm not going to go and watch this, blah blah blah, because you all know that we're all going to see it. Everyone's going to see it. Everyone's looking forward to this. So, hell, it might be good, but it's going to be different from the comic series. It's going to be nothing like the comic series at all. So that again confuses me. I'm like, what the hell? But you know, we'll see at next year's how it turns out, and then when its initial release happens, we'll finally find out then. Obviously on sort of groundwork, I wasn't there at Comic Con, so I don't know much, but apparently they showed some new costumes for Captain America. They're Loki appeared at Comic Con, you know, not Tom Hiddleston, you know, Loki. That was pretty awesome, and apparently there was some kind of good buzz about Guardians of the Galaxy, so yeah, it seemed pretty good. And that's the end of sort of that video. Now what I will do is I'll leave a link down in the description for my review of the Age of Ultron sort of comic series that I did not that long ago. And also, what is your thoughts on this? Do you find this is a big risk for Marvel, or is Marvel really starting to lose steam already? Who knows? Other than that, I will see you guys later, or unless you're actually watching this, unless you're going to watch the DC one, then I'll see you guys pretty damn soon.